This is the over-the-top swing characteristic, and here's how to identify it. Basically, you're going to get in your setup position. Now in your setup position, we're going to draw a reference line along your club shaft, and we're going to extend that reference line up behind you. Okay, it doesn't mean anything, it's just a reference line. Now, during your backswing, we're going to take your swing back until your upper arm is parallel to the ground. When your upper arm is parallel to the ground, we're going to draw a secondary line along the club shaft. And what you'll notice is there's a slot between the original shaft plane line and this secondary line. This we call your slot. Now some of you may have a much smaller slot based on your backswing and how you take the club back, and some of you may have a much wider slot based on a more vertical backswing. It doesn't matter. All that matters is we have a reference point that we call the slot. Okay, so once we've got that, on the downswing we're going to run your swing. What we like to see is we like to see the club drop down in between your slot. However, if that club moves out over the top of the slot, that's why we term it the over-the-top swing characteristic. You are now outside of your slot, you are deemed to be over the top. Now here's another thing. We do draw a third line. What we do is we take the student down all the way to their impact position and we freeze. From here, we draw a third line simply up the club shaft. This is called the impact plane line. Now, we'll run the video back a couple of frames and we'll notice, is your club on the impact plane line? And through the shot, is it on the impact plane line? If it is, then you are in the slot, you're on the impact plane line, that's really good. However, if you're over the top, it's a way of checking whether you stay over the top. Because if the club is above that impact plane line coming down and going through, then you're definitely over the top. However, there are some students that are over the top in transition, but then they may actually shallow the club as they get down into the delivery position, and their club could actually be back on that impact plane line through the shot. It's very important that you draw that impact plane line. So what we're really looking for is, are you over the top in transition, and are you over the top on the impact plane line? If you're not, say you're over the top in transition, but you recover and you're good through the impact plane line, then we're going to see different ball characteristics. You might actually hit the ball fairly straight because of that. So that's how you identify the over the top swing characteristic. Here's a great drill called step change of direction. I use this drill for my players that come over the top. If you're one of those players that has difficulty moving your lower body and your upper body together, you might be a player that actually comes over the top or has more of a steep angle of attack coming down. If we want to get that club in the slot and on the correct path, then this drill is going to help you. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a golf ball like so. What you're going to do is you're going to address the golf ball like you normally do. So I'm in my address position here with simply a 7-iron. So I'm in this position. Now, before you even attempt to hit it, you're now going to take your lead leg and step back so your feet are together like so. You'll notice the ball is well in front of me now. What you're going to do is you're going to simply push this club so that it's in front of the golf ball you're going to hit. As soon as your arms swing past your legs, you're going to step back to where you came from and you're going to try and hit that golf ball. I would start by just making practice swings first. So at first the practice swings are going to look like this. I'm going to take my normal setup position. I'm going to bring this foot closer together, aim the club out in front of me. When my arms swing past my body, I'm going to step and swing. That separation between the lower body and the upper body is going to help drop the club into the slot, and that's going to help you get rid of over the top. This is called throwing motion. It's really for over the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to use a sidearm kind of action. So if you've ever played around in the yard with the kids or you've thrown a ball, you know that if I'm going to throw a ball and I'm going to use my sidearm, similar to say taking a rock and skipping it across the water, I'm going to usually step first, I'm going to lead with my elbow, and I'm going to throw it a little bit like this. For those of you that struggle with coming over the top, those of you may actually throw more like this, over the top. What I want you to get used to is stepping and throwing more sidearm. that very much replicates the correct motion in the golf swing. Notice how my elbow returns back to my side and my arm is almost in a sidearm throwing type motion. Those of you who come over the top tend to get your right arm a little bit high, and as a result, you might throw the ball that way. I want you to get used to throwing the ball more sidearm and trying to feel like you're throwing it out to the right. That's a great way to help you get the right motion to stop your over the top. This drill is called barriers. This is a great drill for those of you that come over the top. Now what I've done is I've just done this using golf balls. You can use foam balls, you can even put little barriers in the ground, but for this sake we're going to use golf balls, and then my graphics are going to kind of show a couple of little barriers. But basically what I want you to do is I want you to set up and create a little station or a little gate. So what I've got here is I've got the ball I'm going to hit in the middle. This ball is slightly outside and a little bit back. This ball is slightly inside and a little bit forward. So what I want you to do is set up, and you're going to practice trying to make sure that you don't hit this outside ball or this outside barrier. So what generally happens in players that come over the top is in transition, the club moves out. And when it moves out, they tend to come down outside the golf ball they're going to hit, and they might clip that barrier. So what I want you to do is set up a couple barriers, practice swinging back, and you're going to feel like you're going to swing out to the right and through the gates. If you do that, it'll help give you the right feel to stop your over-the-top move.
This is called the bretzel. It was named after a guy by the name of Brett Jones, who's a great trainer who actually developed this exercise. We thought he looked like a pretzel, so we just called it the bretzel. Okay, now here's what a bretzel is. You're gonna lay on your side. I'll lay on my left side first. I'm gonna bring my right leg up, take my left hand, grab onto my right thigh, right onto my hamstring. My left leg is gonna come back behind me, my knee's bent. I'm gonna take my right hand and grab my right foot. Okay, now this is the pretzel looking position. Now the whole goal here is to try and elongate your rotational muscles. So I'm gonna get a bigger turn or bigger separation between my upper body and my lower body. But we're gonna use a little muscle activation technique. What you're gonna do is, when we go, you're gonna take a big breath in, and then as you breathe in, you're gonna take your right leg, you're gonna try and drive your right leg this way. You're gonna take your left foot, you're gonna try and drive your left foot this way. But your hands are gonna resist. As soon as I breathe out, I'm gonna let go of everything, let everything relax. So it looks just like this. You can put a pillow for your head if you want, and from here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna push, breathe in, and resist. And then breathe out, and let everything just relax. Let your shoulder drop, and now when you get to as far as you can, let's go ahead and breathe in and push again. Breathe in and resist. And breathe out. You should be able to go a little farther. Breathe in, resist. Breathe out, and relax. It's one of those good feeling stretches. Make sure you flip over, get to the other side. That's called the bretzel. This is called Stork turns supported. Go ahead and get a fairway metal or a driver. You're going to use that for support. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on disassociating the lower body from the upper body. That's a great skill, a very important skill in the golf swing to initiate the downswing. Your lower body should start the sequence. If you can't disassociate lower body from your upper body, well then your upper body tends to dominate a little bit in your golf swing. So here's how we're going to work on this. We're going to take this support and put that support in front of us. And now we're going to take one foot, put it behind the knee, and we're going to practice disassociating the lower body from the upper body. It's going to get a little wobbly at first. Get yourself stable. Go back and forth. Make sure you don't lean too hard on this club. You could end up breaking your club. So it's just there for some light support. And then let's try the other leg. Back and forth. And that right there is called Stork turns supported. This is Starfish Pattern 1. Go ahead and take your FMT tubing, attach each handle around each leg. Go ahead and grab onto the tubing, not onto the black strap, onto the tubing, and lay on your back. Now, I'm going to take your hands, hold your hands out to your side. Make sure that these toes don't flare out. They stay up, feet together. Now, from this position, what we're going to do is we're going to take our left leg, we're going to externally rotate the hip, bring it all the way out and up to my side. Make sure this right foot stays toe pointing up. It's going to want to flare out. Keep the right toe up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the complete opposite. I'm going to internally rotate and bring it across the midline. Repeat. It's external
rotation to internal rotation. That's abduction in the hip to adduction in the hip. Good. Back and forth. Do that for the prescribed reps and sets. And switch. Here we go. Left foot stays up, right one comes out, cross the midline, turn the foot down. Out, cross the midline, turn the foot down. And that right there is your Starfish pattern 1.